Guys, this is my look at my, well, it's already unboxed, my look at the Olympus TG-850 Tough camera. So I'm just going to show you some video that I took of it and basically talk about what we're looking at. Now there's no memory card in here, but it does come with some onboard memory. I think it is probably, um, 6 gigs or 1 gig or something. It's pretty small amount anyways. Could even be megabytes, I'm not sure. Anyways, it's got a flip-up screen, which is one of the real nice features of it. This thing is shock-proof from 7 feet. It is waterproof down to 33 feet. Although the one that I got off eBay, and the side is cracked, so it's not waterproof anymore. You can see some of the cracked plastic there as I turn up the lid. It's got 5-time optical zoom, and it's got a really ultra-wide lens on it, which is really nice. It works as an action cam as well. You can see on the back that it has the dials, which we'll take a closer look at, and obviously the screen rotates 180 degrees, and the image does flip as you move it up and down. It does have a flash on it. The flash doesn't seem to go off very often, but it does, and it's got a whole pile of modes, which again we'll look into kind of in the next video. So this camera for me replaces, now you can see the Tough there with the 33 feet if I get it in focus there. This replaces a Garmin Virb action cam, and it's nice because the Garmin Virb action cam has a screen on top, but it's only black and white, and this you can do a bit of a selfie with the screen flipping there. You can see the cracked part there. I got it for about $80 Canadian off eBay because of that crack. It doesn't seem to harm the functionality apart from the waterproofness of the unit, but that's okay. There's bags and such that you can get which would work for underwater stuff if I wanted to do that. You can see the dial on the side, which kind of has your standard, macro mode, auto mode, etc. And you got your a D-pad there with the OK in the middle, and you've also got a menu button on the bottom there, and in the middle is a play button. The side here is a locking hatch for the battery and the SD card. It takes a full-size SD card, and I've got the camera in my hand now as I'm kind of doing the dub over the video here. And the battery in it, it is a 1320 milliamp hour battery, 4.25 volts. The reviews on the battery is that it doesn't last long, but it seemed to last a day of shooting with my kids, so that it's probably fine actually for what it does. The front of it actually says 925 milliamp hours, 3.7 volts. So I'm not sure what that is. Oh, maximum charge current I was looking at. So yeah, 925 milliamp hours, which isn't a lot, but it is what it is. It comes with a proprietary USB plug, which was on the top, full-size SD card, and then HDMI, mini HDMI, I think it is, or micro HDMI, whatever. And this is a locking compartment here, and it seals for water, so it doesn't get water. Thankfully, that side of the camera was not broken, so that's nice. It's got a nice big protected lens on it, and overall it's a pretty sturdy, pretty thick, pretty solid little device. You can see the scratches on the screen there. It was well loved by the previous person who had it. It has a wide angle, tight angle toggle on the top as well, so you can zoom in and zoom out, which I didn't really get a good shot of, but you can see it on the left hand side there. Here we're taking a look at the menu. Now this has got a lot of options in the menu. There's the flash, and here's some menus that it's showing there with shadow adjust and compression for your fine or your standard mode images. It's got autofocus mode, which you can turn on and off. So in eye auto mode on the wheel, you have a limited amount of options, but in the other mode you have much more advanced options. So there's pick orientation, record view, super wide. Here's the movie settings, 1080p, and I was able to get the 1080 at 60 frames a second when in any other mode than eye auto mode. And it's got a wind noise setting, which is really nice, which you can see at the bottom there. Sorry, it's going a little bit blurry there, but you can still kind of read it when it flashes off. So the wind noise setting, I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but hopefully that will work real well when I get outside. It actually does have left and right stereo microphones on the top, so that's nice. You can change what happens when you plug it into USB, whether it goes into connect to a printer, or whether it's for auto, loading of the data to your, which are kind of nice. So there's really a lot of options on here that. I was just quiet there for a second so you could hear the different tones that it has. This is a pixel check mode, so it actually checks the sensor, I guess, the image sensor, to check if there's any bad pixels in it, which is a great feature. So it went through its little check there. It says busy on screen, and didn't give me any errors, so that's nice. This has a ton of features. It has what is a panorama view. There you got your options for NTSC PAL, for the TV out options. You got your languages. So yeah, it has your panorama view, your art view, your scene view, which are all auto modes. You can select on the wheel that you spin there. And I'll show some of that later. So you can set the local time and a world time, which is kind of neat for traveling. If you can take this on vacation, not worry about going underwater with it. It does have time lapse, so you can set the interval. It doesn't go to 2-second shots. The lowest it goes for seconds is 10 seconds. That's a bit of a downer, but as we get into the movie mode, there was actually options for 120 frames per second and actually 240 frames per second as well, which is a really nice kind of super slow-mo options there. It does have a super macro mode, which is nice, and I'll try and get some super macro shots. The 5x optical zoom is really nice, and then there is a digital zoom, which I think is 10 times as well after that, but obviously optical zoom is kind of the key feature there. I'll probably be doing lots of macro photos in the future once I try that. A lot of the options, I'm going through the spin wheel here. Here's the P and the E portrait here for just faces. It has quite powerful modes in each. Here's a panorama mode, and what you do when you click the image sensor and the image button on that, whatever button on the top, it kind of guides you through it. Shows you the arrow, and it records your movement, and it takes a picture each, every whatever it is, 2 seconds or whatever, as you pan around, and then it stitches it all together for you. So it's a really nice panoramic mode. That's really nice. You can zoom in and out. You can also edit the photos in the play mode on this one, which is nice. You can add sepia and different tones and pictures. Here's the art mode, where you can actually do diorama options, which is tilt shift, and it does dramatic tones, and there's a diorama right there, which makes things look like miniatures. Pinhole modes and grainy film modes, so lots of artistic sorts of things that you can do with it, all on board. It's really amazing, and they have images of how the photo is actually going to look when you go through them. So I thought that was really neat. So I'll probably be trying the diorama, which is the tilt shift mode, a bit more, as I go. And of course, it has its scene selection mode, where you can it'll auto change its settings for, say sports. There's the sports mode right there, so a bit higher action stuff, and night mode, slower lens reflex and that sort of thing. And then you get back to your iAuto, which is kind of the absolute auto mode. It kind of does everything of your settings. And there, I just powered it off. It just goes to the Olympus thing. So that's it. That's the look around, the walk around of the Olympus Tough TG-850 with the selfie screen, which is really handy to have. And I really like that it has a super wide angle lens on it. This is way more useful than my Garmin Virb, actually, in a lot of ways, because it's a regular point and shoot, plus it goes underwater 33 feet. You don't need a dive case like you do for the Garmin Virb, for example, and it focuses. So it's a really neat unit, and I'll probably be using it lots as we go forward. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found that useful, and we will see you guys in the next video.
They do movies as well as stills?
Yep, I'm testing the 1080p video.
Okay.
See if it works. 8 inches or something.
Okay, I gotcha.
Which is oh, cool. It does focus really close. That's awesome. It's focusing within like an inch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oops.
Oh.